Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're taking a closer look, going behind the counter of the modern fast food industry.
Hmm.
We're using insights from Eric Schlosser, Michael Pollan, and some recent studies to, understand the bigger picture.
Exactly. It's about uncovering the ripples, the effects that aren't immediately obvious when you just grab a quick meal because it's cheap and easy.
So fast food really took off after World War II, right?
Yeah.
With suburbs, highways.
Yeah, precisely. That whole era demanded speed, convenience. But like you said, beneath that surface convenience, there are these consequences for, well, our cities, our health, even global culture.
Okay, so let's start with those hidden costs Eric Schlosser writes about. He makes a strong case that the price tag on, say, a burger is misleading.
It really is. He argues that the low price doesn't factor in the true costs to the soil, from intensive farming or the oil used in transport and production.
Right, or the public health burdens, the environmental cleanup, stuff that ultimately taxpayers often end up footing the bill for.
That's the key point. It's paid indirectly and invisibly, as he puts it, through subsidies that support certain kinds of agriculture or, higher healthcare spending down the road.
So your taxes might actually be helping to keep that burger price low in a way. You just don't see that link at the drive-through.
Exactly. And talking about invisible costs, think about our cities. The sheer volume of delivery traffic.
Oh yeah, the congestion, the emissions, it's significant.
Definitely. And that EPA statistic really puts it in perspective, about 19 pounds of CO2 for every gallon of gas burned. Imagine that multiplied across millions of deliveries.
Wow, it really adds up. But the city impact isn't just environmental, is it?
No, not at all. There's also the disruption to uh, local economies, how smaller independent places might struggle to compete when these huge chains move in.
Yeah, it can change the whole feel of a neighborhood, the public spaces.
So those are some of the societal urban costs. But then there's the very personal impact, our health.
Right. And there was a 2023 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. What did that find specifically?
Well, I drew some pretty clear lines between regular fast food intake and things like um, higher LDL cholesterol, that's the bad kind, and increased blood pressure, higher BMI too.
Which are all major risk factors for serious issues: heart disease, hypertension.
Precisely. The data pointed towards increased risks for cardiovascular problems and obesity.
Which makes Michael Pollan's perspective really interesting. He suggests just cooking more.
Yeah, he frames it as an act of independence almost. Declare your independence from the culture of fast food, he says.
And by cooking, you automatically start thinking more about ingredients, right? Where they come from.
Exactly. You tend to use more whole ingredients, less processed stuff. And he argues that simple shift greatly improves your diet almost naturally.
It's a powerful contrast to the highly processed nature of a lot of fast food.
Definitely. And this connects to a bigger theme too, cultural homogenization.
You mean seeing the same chains everywhere?
Yeah, that global spread can sometimes overshadow unique local food traditions. It becomes harder to find regional specialties, perhaps.
Pollan touches on this broader scope in The Omnivore's Dilemma, doesn't he? About how eating connects us to the world.
He does. He writes, "The way we eat represents our most profound engagement with the natural world. It highlights how our food choices ripple outwards."
Affecting ecosystems, other communities.
Yeah.
It's not just about us and our plate.
It's truly far-reaching when you step back and look at the whole system supporting that quick meal.
So, wrapping this up, it seems that convenient, cheap meal carries, a lot of hidden baggage. Economic costs, urban strain, health risks, and these broader cultural and ecological impacts.
It's definitely more complex than it looks. All these things are interconnected.
Which leads us to a final thought from listening. Given all these factors, these often invisible consequences we've talked about.
What's maybe one small shift, just one thing you could consider in your own relationship with food? Doesn't have to be huge, but maybe something to think about.